Hey, what's up guys? Today we're gonna go meet up with Lucky. We are in Vaughan. We're gonna meet up at Panera on Highway 7 and Weston Road. We're basically gonna go over some stuff that I didn't know when I first got my license. I don't want the guy to make the same mistakes that I did. I really didn't have anybody that, you know, was there to help me and guide me and teach me the right way. I had people actually making me go the opposite, and you know, I was taking the long way to get transactions done. So now I want to help people and give them some advice so they can start, you know, doing well right away. And you know, a lot of people that get their license, they get a lot of the wrong advice, or you know, they actually stop being in real estate because they're not doing well. And one of the reasons why is because they don't have proper advice. So I want to help people out and you know, show them the ropes. All right, and this is Lucky. So you're registered with Home Life, right?
I'm with Home Life Champions right now, yeah.
Yeah. And how's that?
It's pretty good. Just been like almost like less than like 3 weeks I'd say I joined.
Yep.
So far it's pretty good, but it's no team or anything. Okay. So it's kind of like me, myself, and I. So what do you recommend as a new agent to start off right in the morning to get into a routine?
The first thing I think is calling people. Call as many people as you possibly can. If you have nothing to do, let's say you're not busy, and that specific day is, just call as many people as you can. Just let them know you're a realtor. Okay. Right? Or ask them, see if they're selling. Get a proper CRM system that will actually, you can implement that, you know, reminders to follow up with this specific person if they're looking to sell like every month or once a week, and you just keep following up with them. And if you're consistent, they're gonna go ahead, they're gonna use you, right? You should be setting a goal to meet at least 10 people a day. Okay. That's what I did when I was promoting. I would meet as many people as I can. I'd go to the mall and just give out my cards to people. I used to print 5,000 cards at least every 2 months. I used to go through 5,000 cards. People still message me today. They're like, hey, I have your old card, and I get it on my Instagram.
Oh man. Okay. So you had 5,000 cards. So what would you do if you actually?
The cards in the front would say, you know, Corrado Arangio, Just Entertainment, my phone number, my email, my Facebook handle. Because I got those cards made when Facebook first started. That's when I first started promoting. Yeah.
So say for a new time, I know you remember last time we talked about it. So you said something like, if you want to like my goal is I would like to do new developments, right? How? And I remember you telling me just to go to join a team. But if like a new agent who wants to work on its own, what route do you think you recommend for that person to get? And just to even like, it was like working to under someone else. Like I don't even care about getting the sale. I just want to get the exposure. Yeah. Mainly. So what would you recommend?
If you want to get into new pre-construction, I'll be straight up. You're probably gonna need around 100 grand to start. Okay.
What do you mean by 100 grand?
You're gonna have to market projects, and you're gonna have to be ready for failures. Like I'm talking about investing 20 grand, $30,000 into a project and not selling a unit. And that's happened to me many times. Pre-con was big. I'd say about like 5 years ago was like at its prime where everybody was buying and all this stuff. Now it's super expensive. You know, there's still a lot of room for growth in certain projects. It's a lot harder. There's a lot more people getting involved with pre-con. I'm not saying it's not good to get into, but yeah, it's not like it used to be. It's really expensive. But yeah, you have to know the builders, you got to know the projects, you have to do your research and know which ones make sense to promote and sell. And then you need access to those projects. If you don't have access to those projects and you're investing all this money, you may not even get a unit to sell. I'd say starting off, try different things. Like don't just focus on pre-con, because by the time it actually can connect for you, it could be like done. Like there's just not enough projects there's a lot of projects out there coming out, but there's a lot of agents doing it as well.
I appreciate that, because I think getting your experience from that, it's a good insight for me before going into it. As a new agent, like for myself, I find out very helpful, because like I can go in and do the same mistakes as you, but if I hear from you before, it makes me think twice. Okay, maybe I should think twice before doing this.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and there's so much opportunities out there. Like some people are like, hey, why are you helping out agents? Like they're like, it's funny, it's weird, but like there's just so much, there's so much out there.
I know exactly.
There's enough food for everybody, right? There's enough for everybody. This is Jarkko. This guy's the man. Okay. He just got his license, and you know, he asked me for some advice. And just sharing some advice that I've learned from my personal experience with him. When he reached out to me, what I admired about this guy is that he's young, he's 21 years old, And yeah, but when I was 21, I didn't want to get into real estate because I thought I was too young, but he doesn't think like that, right? So, and that's perfect mindset for real estate. And he also said that if people think I'm too young, I'll just go work with somebody else, which is amazing.
What do you think I should do in the beginning to start getting those first deals?
I think you should really focus in your community, especially you could speak the language, you're Slovakian, right? You have the Polish, the Czechs. That's a really big group of people, right? But they're all in kind of like one community. They have a lot of events and stuff together as well, right? Like, so you should actually attend the events, maybe sponsor the events, but really focus on that niche. Because if you can focus on that community, you'll be the face of it, and people are going to want to go to you. They're obviously going to trust you. You know, it'll be easier for them to go with a person that speaks Slovakian over an Italian realtor.
Right.
They're going to trust you more. So if you could focus in that community, I think you have an advantage over any other realtor that can't speak another language. Like, you have something good going for you from that point. So I would definitely go all in on that. I think it'll just open up more doors for you, and you'll get introduced to different markets as well. And it's all about branding and how you brand yourself. Like, that's a completely different topic. Like, you can, you know, focus on that niche, but you can also create ads and create content that's going to help you attract different audiences as well.
And so what do you think about like online marketing? Do you use like in Facebook or?
Well, I think it's the type of content you create. You could spend a shit ton of money on Facebook and Instagram, but if you're not doing it right, it's useless. Some people actually do very well. They'll you know, create ads and get deals done right away. You know, but and get lucky with that. But now the way it works, what I've learned is you have to create proper content. So you have to know who your target audience is. And I really think we should tap into that niche, because if you're creating content for that niche, you'll definitely close a lot more deals, and you have an advantage over a lot of other people.
How long would it take you when you first started to get your first deal?
It actually took me about, I think it was around a year and a half or 2 years or something, a year and a half or so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wanted to finish my license, and I didn't, you know, I was working another job at the same time. So that's what paid my bills. And I was just learning, and I wanted to get my broker license right away, which I did, because I had basically figured that down the road it can make it difficult. And then after they announced that you have to go to school now to get your real estate license. But I just wanted to accomplish and get like all my tests out of the way, because I knew once I started selling and I was in the business that I wouldn't have went back into studying.
Yeah. And was there any points in your career where you wanted to give up?
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to give up in the beginning, especially when I was trying to sell, and I'm like, oh, this is really hard. It's easy to get your license, but then getting deals done is not easy, right? And sometimes you can talk to so many people and they're just not gonna move forward. You can show them so many listings, or you can show them properties and waste your time for a year and they're not gonna buy anything. But you have to know, you gotta know when to move on to somebody else as well, because sometimes, not that you're not, people are taking advantage of you, but you have to understand when, what I learned is, okay, you gotta move on, work with the next client, because you obviously have to make a living, right? So you got to know when, if somebody's not that interested and you're forcing them too much and they're just coming out just to come out and see properties, just work on somebody else that's looking for it, right? That's ready to buy.
Right. Okay, so, what makes a qualified buyer?
I think you need to look at a lot of things. And if you're forcing somebody to do something, for example, you keep contacting them every month, hey, you're ready to buy, you're ready to sell. You got to do that to get leads, to remind people that you're in the business. But at the same time, you also can't forget the people that are ready to pull the trigger. And you got to move fast on them as well, because they're, they can always go to somebody else. So if you can actually provide the service and, and work fast, you're going to do well. Yeah, you could even just give back your commission. That's what I did in the beginning when I did my first deals, is I would give back my commission, so I had credibility and I had deals under my belt. Buyers or the clients would be like, oh, what have you done? And you can say, oh, I sold this property, this is the address, or my clients bought this property in this neighborhood. And then you can farm that area. You can go door knocking, or you could do a flyer campaign in that neighborhood, right? But it's very important to have experience. And what I wanted to do was actually, in the beginning, I wanted to buy my own houses and just sell them myself, just to learn from that. Like, I was actually thinking to do that. I was going to do that. But then I'm like, you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm just going to give back my commission and help people. I know how to sell. I'm a good salesperson. It's just in my DNA. So I'm going to basically give back my commission in order to learn. That's what I think you should do in the beginning if you want to, you know, learn different niches or whatever it is, right? Just work with people that you know and the people that trust you and people that want to help you.
Right. So that brings me to my next question. It's what made you get into real estate?
It was by fluke. I literally just saw a sign with my wife. We're driving one day and it said, get your real estate license. This is the tutor's number, and I called the tutor and I got my license. Yeah, that's literally all it was. But at the same time, I also had experience in real estate. I invested a lot of my own money in real estate, so I knew what I was doing, and I knew that I can give people value if I was a realtor, because a lot of even friends before I got my license would ask me questions about real estate that I knew that a realtor wouldn't know, because I invested my own money in it. Like, I bought in the US during a market crash. People are telling me, what are you doing buying in the States? A lot of people are gonna tell you stuff. They're gonna say, hey, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But if you believe in it, just do whatever your mind tells you and experiment. Yep. A lot of people need to learn from mistakes in order to go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, as I always say, you know, if you fail early and...
Yeah, you have a lot of time, man. You could fail, you could try different things, you're young, right?
I mean, that's the best way to learn is if you fail as much as you can. And if you fail early,
yeah, then
your chance for success is much higher.
Yeah, and sometimes you won't even fail. Just do what you want to do, man.